It's nerdy husband versus equally nerdy wife with my pal Jordan Zeilinger facing off against his beloved Madison Zeilinger in 20 questions on craft beer and the movie musical Grease. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? And welcome to episode 84 of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. I am a comedian. I am a trivia host. I'm an MC. I am a roaster. Sometimes I roast people. I do all kinds of fun stuff in Southern California, and I'm so glad you decided to check out this show today. We've been putting out the show for over a year, almost 2 years, well over a year and a half now. 84 episodes in, and we put out mini episodes every Thursday. So every Tuesday we put out some full-length episodes with some cool guests, like our guest today, a married couple battling in some fun trivia about craft beer in Greece, the Zeilingers. You're going to love them. But before we get to them, we have some fun announcements and plugs and different things like that. We put out mini episodes of the show. If you just want trivia, a little bit quicker, 10 to 15 minutes, and usually just 10 or 15 questions on a certain topic on Thursdays. This week's topic is the Winter Olympics. So if you're looking for some Winter Olympic trivia, look no further than the feed for this podcast this Thursday. That'll be a fun mini episode. I am recording this in pouring rain. I'm not out in the rain, but you can kind of maybe hear it on the recording, on the Zoom recorder. It's crazy. It never rains in California, and it is really thunderously pouring out there. And we have a pond in our backyard that's kind of overflowing, so that'll be fun to deal with tomorrow. But it's kind of fun when it rains out here. As I've mentioned before, I'm from Chicago, so it's rare where you see any kind of rain out here in the desertish climate. And it makes for kind of a fun little thing. Feel like you're in a movie set or something because it seems so unnatural out here on the West Coast. But hey, I dig it. I also dig a movie called Waiting. That was a movie that I remember laughing at a lot in 2005 when it came out, and randomly having some beers with my family the other day, and I go, let's put on Waiting, and it really held up. There was a lot of like politically incorrect jokes in the movie, but I urge you to go back and watch the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds about working in a Bennigan's sit-down restaurant type place. And tell me if you still think it's funny like I did, because that's what I did on a Saturday night. Watch that movie. I got an email this weekend, too, from somebody named Alexis, and I'm going to read that email to you right now. It says, Senior Buds, I'm new to the podcast, and I binged the first 15 episodes on a road trip and absolutely loved it. I loved in the first few episodes that you offered a subscription box. Is this still something you do, and how do I get in on that? Now, Alexis is talking about a thing I used to do called Buds Box, which was a way that you could support the show by subscribing to it was like a quarterly box I would send out of all these really cool pop culture items that my friends had made. So I have a bunch of different friends who make different toys and posters and coloring books and things like that. So the Buds Box kind of showcased all that stuff for about $20 every few months. And it's funny that I got that email from Alexis because I do have something very similar to that going on. It's not exactly a Buds Box, but you will get some very similar perks and rewards. Maybe you know what I'm getting at. That's right, Alexis. I'm glad you asked that question in that email because today I launched my very own Patreon page. Now, what is Patreon? If you listen to podcasts, you are probably familiar with that website. Patreon is a website that lets you set up like a subscription-based service. So if you want to support this show in any way, you can do so for between $1 and $15 at your discretion per month. And that would be so cool of you if you are looking for a way to support what I do as a trivia host and as a guy who puts this podcast out 2 times a week. I have people that leave me great reviews, which I'm super thankful for, and I have people who email me quite a bit and say, how do I start a trivia night? Or hey, can you put out an episode on this topic? And I really try and work all that stuff out, and I try and help as many people as I can. So if you get any entertainment out of my voice each and every Tuesday and Thursday, if you like what I've been doing for almost 100 episodes, almost 100 weeks here go over to patreon.com/trivia with buds and see what we got going on over there. We got tons of cool rewards. There's all these different tiers. Here are just a few of the rewards you can get if you sign up to donate over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/trivia with buds for just $1 a month. All you have to do is donate $1 a month, and every month I will give a shout out with your name at the end of every single podcast that I publish. That's right. If you want your name shouted out for all the world to hear, all you got to do is donate $1 on Patreon. For $2 a month, you will get a quiz that I email to you every single Friday. This is an additional, totally different topic quiz from the podcast episodes that we do, and that'll come in your email every single Friday for you to quiz yourself and challenge yourself on. You could forward it to a friend, see who knows more about that topic, and we're going to be doing some really fun stuff if you like Game of Thrones, Marvel films, the TV show Schoolhouse Rock. That's just a few things that kind of popped in my head when I was thinking about that reward. For $3 a month, you can get amazing stuff mailed to you, and one of those things is a signed and personalized Sharknado headshot. That's right. I will sign a piece of movie memorabilia for you, and I'll mail it to you, and it can have anybody's name on it that you want. So if you know somebody that loves the movie, that loves the Sci-Fi Channel original series of films, Sharknado, you could have that piece of memorabilia with me, bloody and shirtless, screaming on a beach, missing a leg. That would be kind of fun, huh? For $5 a month, I can give you something really cool. It is a Skype call. That's right. I will call you on Skype, and we can sit down and do a 5-question quiz on any topic of your choice. And I might take the audio or video from that and insert it in a future podcast. So those are just some amazing rewards you can get from $1 to $5. And there are some bigger ones if you want to go a little bit more. If you want to give a little bit more to the show, give a little bit more to the community, I can give you some amazing things. But you got to go check them out on patreon.com/trivia with buds. From $1 to $15, there are tons of options. Whatever fits your budget, suits your needs, and makes your wallet happy will make my show very happy. So thank you so much for supporting the show in that way. We have a really cool community growing here with the show, with what I do at all my live nights around California. And if I could start traveling a little bit more and doing trivia in your hometown, maybe you live in Alaska, maybe you live in the UK, kick me a few bucks if you can, and I promise to provide tons of pop culture content for a really long time. This is something I'm going to be doing for not just a few months or a few years. This is the long haul for me. This is the thing that I love to do. So if you like this show, if you like listening to it, if you like playing along, if you like quizzing your friends or forwarding the questions or episodes to each other, I urge you to keep doing that, and I urge you to help support me the best you can. I appreciate you listening to this long-winded intro, and I want you to enjoy this episode. So without any further ado, we are going to go and check out what Jordan and Madison had to say about their knowledge on craft beer and the movie musical Grease. Here we go. Sitting here in beautiful Valencia, California, which is a type of orange.
It is,
I believe.
What we're famous for.
There we go. I'm at my good friend's house, my good friend Jordan and my good friend Madison. They're a married couple, and they come to my trivia nights, and we thought, why not have them battle each other and see how strong this marriage is on the podcast, right?
Is that what it's for? Okay.
That'll be good. Thanks so much for inviting me in your home.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Jordan, right behind you, we got some wrestling on the pre-show for Elimination Chamber.
We do, and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are still on the pre-show. Can't get them off of there.
Biggest stars in Japan, and barely, while people were walking in the building here.
They're like best friends with Finn Balor, got us nowhere.
Sure. And we were over here last month, and you guys invited me over, and we watched Royal Rumble,
yes,
which was cool.
We did.
So we're wrestling buddies. We're all good wrestling buddies.
And Madison as well.
Yep.
You wouldn't find most girls that are wrestling fans.
One of the coolest things, one of the coolest traits about any female, I think, is when they're like, I know wrestling.
That's what drew me to her. I think the first time we talked, actually, I made a wrestling joke, and she got it. And I was like, who's this girl?
You just had the ring ready? Just in case.
Like, been waiting years.
Perfect. You guys are, how long have you been married?
We just
2
celebrated
years.
2 years.
Last
2
week.
years.
Yes,
what are the ways to make a marriage last 2 years? What are some tips from you guys?
Stay married.
I feel like compromise is a big one.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of problems. Like, we get along really well. Our personalities
best friends.
Really mesh well with each other.
Yeah.
So
That's
that helps us out a lot.
Ask us again in 50 years.
Yeah. We'll see where we're at then.
What we say.
Jordan, you run a blog called Blood, Sweat, and Craft Beer.
I do.
Blood, Sweat, and Craft Beer. Tell me a little bit about what gave you that idea and what goes into it.
It's just my 3 favorite things. It's what I spend most of my time doing, watching wrestling, working out, and drinking beer. So I thought, why not incorporate all 3 of them into something where I can kind of give people a little bit of insight on my like what I do to work out, what beers I like. And my whole concept is just to, like, you don't have to, like, be just super into fitness and you can't enjoy eating things and drinking beer and stuff. You can kind of have a little bit of everything. So I thought, most people focus on one thing. I'll diversify and focus on my 3 favorite things.
That's perfect. And you have a podcast maybe coming out around the corner. Is that kind of based on that stuff as well?
Not really, no. It's kind of just based on me and my friends getting an excuse to get together and challenge our perception of things. Right now we're doing like childhood stuff. So yesterday we got together and did our first episode where we watched the Disney Channel original movie Johnny Tsunami.
One of my favorites.
Oh yeah, do you actually know it?
Yes, I do. I don't remember what happens in the movie, but I definitely remember seeing it as a kid.
Yeah, so it's the reason I got into snowboarding when I was in junior high, and then that followed me through high school and college and everything. Yeah. I don't really snowboard much anymore, but I did it for a long time. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun. Like, we remember that movie as being so cool, me and my friends. I thought, hey, it'd be kind of fun. Let's get together and actually rewatch it as adults and see whether or not it wrecks our childhood. So that's what the podcast is called. It's called the Wreck My Podcast. And so we're kind of doing childhood stuff first, and then we're going to move off into other things and kind of challenge our perception of stuff.
Very cool. And you're, as well as being a wrestling fan, a beer fan, a workout fan, you're into a lot of nerdy stuff. You love Star Wars. Whenever I do a Star Wars round at the live trivia nights that usually play at Pocock Brewing in Santa Clarita, California, and you go nuts for the Star Wars.
I love the Star Wars stuff. I have a Star Wars wedding ring. Oh, yeah. Madison has a Star Wars tattoo because she got a tattoo for my favorite thing. I got a Sailor Moon tattoo for her favorite thing.
I saw you guys just posted that. Were those recently, or you had them for a while?
That was last year. We just never got around to posting it. We realized, like, we were in Arizona, and it was on a whim, so we kind of just did
Also,
it.
despite being 25 years old, my mom had no idea, so I didn't post anything.
She still hides it a little bit. But
so does she still not know?
I mean, she's a mom. I think she knows.
Because she's here right now. She's the 3rd guest on this podcast. That's cool. I love matching tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. I've never really wanted a tattoo. But now that I have kids, I kind of think about getting their names or something for their birthdays or something like that. That's kind of cool because that's like always going to be a thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, it's not just
you won't ever regret that.
Yeah.
No.
So you, Jordan, besides having all those great hobbies, you have kind of, I'm going to say, a nerdy job too. You're a manager at a convention recording company, which is like a family business, right?
It is, yeah. So my dad's owned it for almost 40 years now. So I've been working there since I was really young, and it was technically illegal, but I'd still be working there, getting some money under the table and stuff like that. And so, I just started doing it after I graduated college and kept going and going and going. And it deals a lot with audio video stuff. So yes, it is the nerdier side of jobs you can have.
And that is like somebody goes to a convention and they want the audio from everything that happened in a certain room or something, and you kind of provide that.
So we record all the sessions that are mostly educational and then provide them to the members.
There you go. And you were in college, you were a band guy. What instrument did you play?
So I was actually a vocalist.
Oh.
And you probably don't know this about me. It was a hardcore band. Okay. So I screamed. So I didn't sing.
He's got a good scream.
When you sent this to me, I thought you meant you played like in college marching band.
No, because I told you Madison, I told you her thing, which goes kind of like with band. Yeah. And so, no, I probably should have clarified. I was in a hardcore band.
A screamo band.
A screamo band, essentially. Yeah, playing different shows. Our biggest and last show was on the Queen Mary, actually. And we had a few hundred people, I want to say, in the crowd for like a battle of the bands. It was a lot of fun. It was good.
Awesome.
We never made money. We lost money on almost every show, but it was fun.
That's amazing. Queen Mary. That's quite the, I mean, if that's where you retire this career as a musician.
Yeah, we didn't know it was our last show, but it was a good one to go out with.
Were your mom and dad there recording it?
Yes. I actually have video of the whole show,
Very good.
They have the technology.
They got the tech. They've got the power. Madison, you are a worker in a client relationship and marketing expert at J&M Entertainment for weddings and corporate parties. Tell me a little bit how you got into that.
Oh, it's kind of crazy. I got my degree in psychology, and it kind of split both ways, that you can really get into the mental health side of it, which I did for a long time.
Yeah.
And then when I got out of it, I was really just looking for something that wouldn't be me working 16 hours every day.
Gotcha.
And so I started applying places, and I found J&M, and then I started doing the marketing for them, and I just really fell in love with it. They're an amazing company, and it's really something special to be a part of somebody's like most magical day of their life. I don't know if I'll ever leave. Like, it's so incredible there. It's such an awesome.
It's nice. It's not high stress either. You know, like her first job was like life or death.
Yeah.
Literally. And this job is like, okay, your wedding day like is important.
To be fair,
but
some people think their wedding day is life or death.
It's true. It's true.
It's a different kind of perception.
There you go. I've officiated 5 weddings, and I have a 6th one coming up. And it's my friend I grew up with, one of my best friends. His aunt is getting remarried, so she asked me to do it. I've now done 4 weddings in his family, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
So you're like the go-to officiant.
I'm like the go-to officiant, yeah. The first one I did was his about 5 years ago, and I've done like 6, going on 6 since then.
Awesome.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I love like to think that at the end of my life, I'll be like, oh, I'm responsible for like 10 or 20 or however many marriages. You know, it's kind of a cool thing to be a part of.
So you get ordained every time, or
no,
you just like ordained now? Like
you just go on a website and you're like, I'm ordained. It's like, it literally, I think it was like $30 or something.
Oh, nice.
It's like you could do it right. You both could do it right now.
Wow.
And you will.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to America. Madison, you have kind of a cool story about your dad. Last time I was over, you have a real nerdy dad.
My dad is super nerdy.
So it's like a perfect match that you married a nerdy guy.
We always say my dad literally raised me to be married to Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Like
the first time me and her dad met, she warned me. She's like, he doesn't have a lot to say. He's kind of hard to like break through. We talked the whole time about wrestling and metal music and stuff. It was great.
That's going to be like me and hopefully whoever my daughter Annabelle marries.
Oh, totally.
You know, whether it's a guy or a girl, whoever she's with. I think that we will have a lot in common because somebody told me recently, they're like, oh, they're like, you know, when you take your daughter on all these little activities, and those are like her first dates, you know, like you're showing her like a good time and like what a good fun like normal thing should be. And so like it's like she's already started dating somebody that she should eventually against maybe meet and start dating in the future. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a weird way of thinking.
So you're setting the standard. You're setting the bar high. Yeah,
because we'll go like bowling and ice cream. You don't just go to like one. You know what I mean?
Nice. Spoiling.
So these guys or gals gotta step it up in the future. Here is your next little thing about your dad. He is, I want to say, is he a graphic designer?
He is.
And he's done stuff like pictures from Magic the Gathering cards.
Yes. Yeah, he works for a company. Cool. One of their biggest clients, I think, is Cardamundi, and they do like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
So if there's something like the Lord of the Rings, like 20th anniversary edition set, he doesn't just design it, he assembles it and creates the packaging and everything.
And you were telling me last time I was over, he created the barrel complete series set from Breaking Bad.
He did.
That's very
We went
cool.
and visited him one time at work, and I was telling him how much I liked it, and he's like, follow me to the back room. And they just had like billions of them sitting there, and he's like, here you go, have one.
In some
the whole
perspective
series,
too, we go there and then he has like a life-size Undertaker poster that's like there, like
that's great.
And he works with a bunch of guys that do the same
That's
thing.
A real nerdy job right there.
I bought a Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off, full-size cardboard cutout, like 7 feet tall, on Black Friday like 3 years ago, and it was in my office until he had his whole scandal, and I'm like, I should probably take this down.
Away.
Yeah.
Don't promote that.
Then we all became fans in the same office of Enzo Amore.
Oh no,
and we had a cardboard cutout of him.
Stop being fans of
so
people.
Then we're like, ooh, we got to take this one down too. Yeah,
that is bad.
So it's like, who's the next? We didn't even order the Rich Swan one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that'll be next.
Awesome. So we know a little bit about you guys. Now we're going to get to the categories you guys gave me. We'll talk about why you like these 5 different things. Jordan, we'll start with your categories. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Star Wars. What was the first thing that attracted you to Star Wars as a kid?
Just the space aspect of it, I think. It was one of the first movies I saw in theaters when I was a kid, and I just was like blown away by it. I thought it was super awesome.
One of your other categories as well, space-related, Firefly Serenity.
Yep, I love it, yeah.
I've never seen any of it, and everyone tells me
you can
that
borrow
I need to every time.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Which one of those, if you had to pick, you'd probably go Star Wars for the bigger franchise?
I know more of Star Wars. I went to a trivia night for Serenity, and I got massacred. But they were ridiculous questions. They were like, so we're going to play you a line of dialogue. Tell us what moon this took place on. And I'm like,
wow.
Okay. I don't know.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Your next category after those two was first generation Pokemon anime and games.
Yep.
So the red and blue?
The red and blue.
And the yellow? Or was the yellow a different game?
Yellow was technically still first generation. Yeah, it had all the same characters. It just followed the anime story. The red and blue were its own thing, and then the anime story kind of followed a different path. And then yellow came out for all of us kids that love that story to kind of get to play it.
That's right. So the yellow is a little bit different.
A little bit different, but all the same 150
Gotcha.
Pokemon in it. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Your next topic was WWE.
Oh, of course.
As we're talking, the Elimination Chamber is lowering.
My back's to it right now, so I need to take this mirror and reposition it.
It's the first match of the pay-per-view. I'm guessing it's got to be the Women's Chamber match?
I don't know. You think they're going to pull it out that quick, man?
Unless they are saving, unless they're kicking off with that, and then the women's is last for a Ronda Rousey thing?
Yeah.
Maybe
like last time? Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think about this Ronda Rousey insertion? Do you think it's going to be good?
I'm neutral right now with it, honestly. I didn't like that she took away from the Royal Rumble. I thought that it felt a little too forced, in my opinion, and I felt like they kind of just told her, hey, go out and point at the sign a bunch, because she just kept doing the same thing. I like Ronda Rousey. I think she'll do good things.
Sure.
I'm just not digging it right now. I want them to book it a little bit better.
And it makes you not too confident in her mic skills if she can't even go out there.
And I'm bummed because they brought Asuka up, and she's the undefeated, and then they brought Ronda Rousey, who's supposed to be the undefeated kind of person. I'm like, well, who are they going to give preference to now? It's kind of a bummer.
And it'll definitely be Ronda.
Oh, for sure. They're paying her more.
The money, for sure. Your last topic of your 5, craft beer.
Yes.
We met at a brewery, and you love beer.
I love beer.
Do you ever think about making your own beer at home?
Yes, I have actually done twice. I was not a fan of either one, so I realized it was a lot cheaper and a lot less time for me to go buy beers I liked.
Yeah.
But I'm
kind of with you. Like, I don't really care how it's made so much. I just like it when it's good.
Yeah, and I was like that way, but now I'm starting to get back kind of in, like, I'm reading a lot of blogs about brewing beer. I'm reading a lot of, like, how-tos, like, what to do, what not to do. I've looked up getting a bunch of stuff. So hopefully sometime this year I'm going to get back into it, brew another beer. We'll see what happens.
Perfect. Great categories. We're going to choose one of those for you in just a second. Madison, your category's first one, Harry Potter.
Yes.
It's probably the most picked category on the show.
I figured it would probably be something that everybody's super into, but I'm like, I grew up with it and I do know about it, so I feel like it's a good
She knows a lot more about it than I do.
How old are you guys? 25?
I'm 29.
I'm 25.
Or I'm going to be 29 in 2 weeks, and then you're 25.
Yeah, I'm 25.
So I'm a couple of years older. I'm 3 years older than you, like 8 years older than you.
I was always the same age as the Harry Potter kids.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty. You grew up with them. Very good. Harry Potter, always a good choice for this show. Your next topic, Friends.
Yes. I'm sure that's another super popular one.
I never saw Friends until I started dating her. Yeah, never saw a single episode.
Do you think it holds up, Madison, when you watch it now?
Oh, totally.
I think so, too.
It's a
great show to fall asleep to.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah. Perfect. I love, did you see they had like a Friends trailer someone cut together?
Yes.
It made it look like a movie, but it was just like guest starring episodes from Cougar Town and stuff. It made you go like, oh, they could do that though. Someone was arguing with me lately about how they would never do a reunion. They're like, they don't need to do that. I'm like, they do, and they will. I know that they're going to do it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to do it, but I think that they could do it, and it would be good.
If the money's right, I think they do it.
I think it's just a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Especially a lot of these shows like Roseanne, it's like
Roseanne's coming back.
And they're like, and people are excited about it.
Will and Grace.
Wasn't the end of Roseanne like the thing where like her husband was actually dead the whole time, and like
he had died like earlier? And
so what are they going to do to write that out?
In the commercial, she goes, "I thought you were dead," and he's like,
okay. There you go. It's like 2.5 Men and everything. It's like just make a joke.
Breathe under the table. Yeah. Your next topic: Grease movie and musical.
Yes.
Are there huge differences between the movie and the musical?
Yes.
You're like, there's no singing or dancing.
Oh no. They both have it, but it's very different. I mean, I grew up with the movie. I watched that since I was like 3 years old, and it wasn't until I was in like 7th grade that I actually saw the musical.
Yeah.
And one of the big like plot points in the movie is that Sandy goes to the prom with Danny, and that's when Cha-Cha comes in and they break up, and that's not at all in the musical. Really, in the musical, they're only together in the first song and the last song.
That's so weird.
Aside from that, they're not together.
So they really embellished that.
Yeah, they really, because Olivia Newton-John could dance, so they let her do it.
They were supposed to, I was reading this actually recently, that they were supposed to make like 3 or 4 Grease movies, but number 2 did so bad.
Oh, it was horrible.
Then they never made any more. Do you think that they could have gotten any better at some point?
Not without the original cast. There's no way.
There you go.
That's always a surefire way to just
I feel like that's a running joke I always have with when we're going through Netflix. I see Grease 2 on there. I'm like, Grease 2? And she's always like, no.
This next topic was close to your day job, wedding trends.
Yes.
Give me an example of a wedding trend.
Like right now, the color of the year is violet. And so you'll see like all over weddings, whether it's like in the napkins or the flowers, like violet is the color of the year.
Who kind of decides that? Just magazines and stuff?
It depends. Yeah. Like Wedding Wire and The Knot are one of the biggest people that kind of like all the vendors go to.
Yeah.
But they poll from like millions of engaged couples and they kind of can find that out and then they share it with the vendors.
Gotcha. Wedding trends. Last topic, psychology. That was another thing you had mentioned.
Yeah.
Did you ever have one of those booths like Lucy on Peanuts when you were a kid? And you just like gave people psychiatric advice?
You didn't do lemonade. You did psychology appointments.
Yeah, no. I just married my one patient.
I know. I'm very weird, so she can diagnose me for a long time.
There you go. So those are your 5 topics each. This is the time in the show where I'm going to reveal which topic I chose for each of you. And you guys will be battling in these 2 topics. Jordan, your topic is craft beer.
Oh, man.
And Madison, your topic is Grease, the movie and musical.
Oh, no.
So it's craft
I'm going to
beer.
do so bad on that.
And Grease.
I don't know much about craft beer. I don't drink, so we'll see.
Well, depending on what the questions are, I don't know if I'm going to know a lot about craft beer.
We'll find out in just a few seconds. We got to come up with a buzz-in word, 1 or 2 syllables, something between the 2 of you that you can buzz in with.
So I was thinking, because I watch your podcast a lot, so I know this was coming up.
Sure.
And Madison doesn't like boy humor, so I'm never going to get her to say the word fart. So I think fart should be it.
Oh, boy. Do you want to buzz in with the word fart? Does that work for you? Very good. Okay, so you'll be buzzing in with the word fart, and or you can actually fart.
Okay.
You can actually fart.
There you go.
That'll work too.
Good thing.
But yeah, we'll go back and forth between Jordan's 10 questions on craft beer and Madison's 10 questions on Grease. You can answer each other's questions. You just have to wait for the whole question to be read so people can play along at home. Okay? So wait for the whole question to be read and then buzz in with fart. And we'll do those 20 questions on your topics. Then we'll do a second round thing called the combo question, where it combines both topics of Grease and craft beer in some way. And then we do a thing called categories with buds, which has nothing to do with either of those topics. And then we'll do some plugs and we'll close it out. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right. You get 1 point when you get your topics right. And you get 2 points if you can steal the other person's or if they miss it and then you happen to guess it right or something like that. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's a little strategy for you. This is the Trivia Showdown.
Trivia Showdown.
Here we go. This is the first question of the podcast, Jordan's topic of craft beer. Question number 1. What name is given to the person in charge of beer production at a brewery?
Fart.
Jordan.
Brewmaster.
Brewmaster is correct. That's 1 point on the board. Madison, did you have any idea about that one?
I had no idea.
The brewmaster. I asked Todd at Pocock one time, I'm like, are you the brewmaster? He's like, yes,
says on his card, he's the brewmaster.
I am the brewmaster. So 1 point there for Jordan. We're going to dive onto the Grease side, the greasy side. Madison's 10 questions on Grease. Question number 1. Who played Rizzo in the Fox broadcast Grease Live?
Oh, fart. Vanessa Hudgens.
It is Vanessa Hudgens, and that's 1-1.
The original actress was in it, wasn't she? Rizzo? No, that was Frenchie.
No, Frenchie.
Yeah, okay.
It was Vanessa Hudgens. Did you watch that Grease Live? I'm sure you did. Is it pretty good?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It was the first thing we watched in our house right before we got married when we moved into our first place together.
When we had no furniture.
We had no furniture.
We sat on a
TV
sleeping
was
bag.
literally on the ground.
Yeah.
Like it was great.
Yeah.
My niece, her name's Finley. She is, I think, 7. She watches it nonstop over and over again. And she watched the movie and she's like, eh. Like she,
oh my gosh. So she saw the live musical first?
Yes. And like loved
Depends
it.
what you watch first.
That's so weird to me though. Like why would you be drawn to watch that if you hadn't actually seen the movie?
Because it's
of like Vanessa.
Yeah,
I guess there were a lot of names
Grease.
in it.
Yeah.
I just that's just weird to me.
One
Star Wars the musical.
Wasn't it a musical with the Star Wars Christmas special? With
there was some music.
Sings?
Yeah, it's a weird movie.
Here we go. Question 2, craft beer. Maybe Madison could steal this one. Okay. Number 2, fill in the blank. Malt content directly influences beer blank. Malt content directly influences beer blank. Jordan.
I want to say color.
And that is correct. 1 point. Beer color and the malt.
What is color?
That's what we're looking for. Blank. It was color. Question number 2 for Grease. What color is Danny Zuko's dress shirt at the dance in the 1978 film? It is pink.
I was waiting for him to finish the.
Wow.
I saw
she
you
was
take.
so excited.
I was like, I actually know this one.
She was excited. It's a pink shirt. And is that the same shirt in the musical when you've seen it? Have you ever seen the musical like live somewhere?
I have, and they don't really stick to it too much, I don't think. Yeah.
There you go. Question number 3, craft beer. How many ounces is in a standard growler?
Fart 8. Oh.
Oh, wrong answer. Jordan.
Fart.
Yes.
I want to say a growler.
Typical growler, how many?
64.
It is 64.
Oh my god.
A crowler's 32.
I was gonna say
There you go.
Sometimes I-
Oh, is that what it's called? A
A crowler
crowler?
is the one that comes in the cans. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's like the new fad now. Like everyone's doing that.
Yeah, there you go. So it's 3-2. Jordan's up by 1. Let's see if Madison can get her third Greece question. There may not be any steals in this episode.
I know it may just
No,
be 10 to
we're
10.
so different.
10-10. Number 3 for Greece. What is the name of the high school they go to in Greece?
Fart, Rydell.
It is Rydell, and that's
I let you have that one.
3-3.
I was waiting.
You
was gonna
let me
steal it.
have
I was
that
gonna
one?
say fart, and okay, I didn't let you have it. You had it.
Oh.
Very good.
Trash talking
She
over
plans
here.
weddings. She might plan a divorce. Uh-oh. For the first time ever on a nice Sunday here. Here's question number 4 for craft beer. California and Colorado have the most craft breweries. What 2 states follow? You have to get both states. What 2 states follow after California and Colorado? What do you think?
Fart.
Jordan, going up first.
Oh my
thinking
gosh,
over.
that's hard. Oregon,
Uh-huh. That is
And-
1.
Washington.
And that is the other. Very good. Oregon.
Thank you,
Oregon or Oregon?
Oregoni. I don't
Oregon
know.
You're
Trail.
doing so good.
Pacific Northwest for the win.
There you go.
Oh.
Have you guys ever been to either of those states?
Yeah, I've been to Portland and I've been to Seattle, and Madison's parents actually are currently living in Seattle right now.
There you go. Question number 4 for Greece. What country do Sandy's parents unexpectedly move to?
From?
Maybe I put the wrong word.
They fart. They
Yeah.
move from Australia
That's
to
the
the
one.
United States.
There you go.
Good job,
That's
baby.
right.
Yes.
So it was Australia 4-4.
I was actually iffy about that one. I was like, New Zealand or Australia? I can't
Also,
remember.
is Australia like a country and a continent?
I think so,
I think
yeah.
so. I always
What's New
forget.
Zealand then? What's it part of?
It's part
I
of.
thought it was part of Australia.
I think it's a country in Australia.
Yeah.
Are they close? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were like, wow,
Yeah.
geography.
Because they go
failed
from
me.
Lord of the Rings. They
okay.
filmed
That's
it
right.
all there.
Question number 5 for craft beer. The German word Hefe, or Hefe, means what beer-related word? Hint, baking.
Fart,
Yes.
wheat.
Incorrect. Oh, Madison.
Dang it.
Can you read the question again?
Yes. The German word Hefe, Hefe, means what beer-related word? Hint, also baking. So it wasn't wheat.
Hops?
It's not hops. It was yeast.
I was gonna say
Oh.
it was either
Yeast.
wheat or yeast, and I didn't know which one it was because I don't know German, and I was like, wheat sounds
are
good.
German. You
I
need to
am
know.
German,
Yeah.
and I don't know any German.
4-4, very close game. You guys are tearing it up on your categories. That was the first miss so far of the whole thing. Let's see how we do with this. The rest
Madison's
of
gonna pull ahead.
this. Here comes number 5 for Greece. What 4-word song was the only song nominated for an Academy Award in 1979? It's a 4-word song title. This is number
Fart.
5. Yes,
Hopelessly devoted to you.
that is correct.
4
For
words.
2 points.
Good.
Such
You
a
did
shot in the
it.
dark. I had no
You did
clue.
it.
I was like, that's 4 words. Sure.
6-4. That was the only one that was nominated and did
Oh,
not
man.
win. But yeah, 6-4. Jordan steals the
Such
first
a
question.
shot in the dark.
That was a good one.
Very good stuff. I don't think I know that one off the top of my head.
Well,
It was a one that was only written Olivia Newton-John to sing. It wasn't.
and
Gotcha.
the
in
only
musical.
reason why that's the only song I know in the whole thing is because it's Madison's favorite song,
that
and so
song.
every time it comes on, I have to be quiet.
There you go. Question number 6 for the craft beer
Oh, by the
side.
way, you were right, Ryan.
Oh, it is the women's match
Yeah.
starting first. Here we go.
Crazy.
Question number 6. What 1983 arcade game challenges players to coordinate the movements of beer bartenders, empty beer mugs, and customers? This one's not
1983.
1983 arcade game. Challenges players to coordinate the movements of beer, bartenders, empty beer mugs, and customers. I'll say it's similar to like a Burger Time type game.
Well, see, that's what I was like. Is
Yeah.
it Burger Time? And
You're-
I never played it and don't know they had beer there.
Yeah, you're trying
I'll say
to-
fart.
Yeah.
Bar Time.
Bar Time is incorrect. Madison, any guesses?
Beer Me.
Beer Me. Those are great guesses. It's called Tapper.
Tapper. I've never heard of that.
It's an arcade game. I've played it a few times at some vintage arcades.
I
Check it
didn't
out.
spend a lot of time in the arcade back in '83 because I wasn't born yet.
That one was not super crafty, but I thought it was fun.
Hey, it's all good.
Question number 6 for Grease. The film Grease came out in 1978, but what year did the musical come out? What year did the
Farts.
musical? Yes.
1955.
Incorrect. Jordan?
1972.
Incorrect. 1971. You're so close.
Yeah.
So close. You're off by 1 year.
Dang.
No points there for anybody. It's still 6-4. Jordan winning against his wife by just 2 points, but he broke a Keurig machine earlier, so he is losing.
Yes, losing in life right now.
Question number 7 for Craft beer. On what TV show did the main characters get mad when they found out a Korean barbecue place down the street had a microbrew?
A sitcom?
Could be. On what TV show did
TV
the main
show.
characters get mad when they found out a Korean barbecue place down the street had a microbrew? It's a very specific kind of a question, but you're guessing.
Oh my gosh. Is it like a newer TV show or?
You can't ask questions.
I will tell you it is
Well,
a
we both
sitcom. It is
okay.
a sitcom. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Any
Fart.
guesses here? Yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
It was not Big Bang Theory.
Modern Family?
It was not Modern Family. It was Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, man. See, so this is what happens with It's Always Sunny. I go, I want to watch this. So I watch the first 2 seasons or so.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fall off.
Yeah.
And then years later I go, I should watch this again. So I start over and I never make it past the same point.
Yeah, I do that with a lot of shows. Question number 7 for Grease. In 2010, a sing-along version of the movie was released in theaters, but what was digitally removed from certain scenes in the trailer? So they
Fart.
Yeah.
The hip gyrations.
It was not hip gyrations. 2010, a sing-along version of Grease was released in theaters. What was digitally removed from the certain scenes in the trailer? Something they didn't want to advertise. What do you think?
Sure.
I don't even know what's in it that's controversial.
Yeah,
Any
in
guesses?
the trailer?
The heroin scenes, maybe?
No.
They just do hard drugs?
Yeah.
Was there a
those
certain
are the
like
best.
product or something? That
Kind
was in
of.
it?
Yeah, kind of. Any guesses? Cigarettes. So whenever they had cigarettes, they took them out because they
I
didn't
feel
want to
like that's
advertise.
like so lame. Come on, that was a
Right.
product of its time. It's set in the 50s.
They took it out.
That's what it was. Come on.
Jordan might take out
That's
Madison.
cool.
It's 6-4 still. She can still steal some on craft beer here. Let's see if she knows this next one. What famous pale ale was first brewed in 1980 and is still a top 20 selling beer in the U.S. today?
Pale
What
ale.
famous pale ale was first brewed in 1980 and is still a top selling beer in the U.S. today?
Fart.
Yep.
Sierra Nevada?
That's right. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, 1 point for Jordan.
Good
That's
job.
7 for him
I
total.
didn't know it was that old, actually.
I didn't either.
So
I didn't know.
that's why I thought it was going to be
that
that
Too
old.
old.
No, 30-some years.
There you go. Question number 8 for Grease. What song starts with the lyrics, I got chills?
I don't know the name of it. I got chills. They're multiplying.
I'm thinking of a Cheap Trick song. I was about to say, I want you to want me.
They kind of sound like the same song.
Yeah, they do.
my
It's
gosh.
something about that. What is
What's
it
the
called?
chorus of that song?
I
It's the one where
got
they're talking
chills.
about, like, he's, like, telling all the guys about how he did
Yeah.
it with her on the beach and stuff.
I think you guys are kind of working together.
Hold on, sorry. This is marriage. We're like
it
used to
is.
coming
You want to know
together.
how you get marriage work? Work in the trivia podcast together. Oh, my gosh. What is the chorus of it?
What do you think? Any guesses?
Yeah, give me one.
You're going to be
second.
mad when I tell you.
I know, because it's probably super easy.
Any guesses
Fart.
from either Jordan?
Tell me about it.
Tell me
No,
about
wait.
it.
Tell me
no,
about
I
it. Hot
totally
stuff.
know it. I got it. Give me a second.
And Madison's still thinking it over.
I I can
singing the
think
song
of it
in
in
her
the
head.
song. Yeah,
That's it. Let's pull out Grease right now. We'll watch the whole
I
movie.
know. I don't want to take up the podcast. I'm just gonna
The
listen
answer
to it.
was, you're the one that I want.
You're the one that I want.
Woo-hoo-hoo, honey. Question number 9. Craft beer. We just got 2 questions left in each category before we move on to round 2, the combo question. Number 9. In what state did Allagash White first get brewed? In what state did Allagash White?
Fart, I will say, oh man, it's around here a lot, so I want to say California, but I'm going to say Colorado.
Colorado, incorrect. Madison?
Nevada?
Nevada, incorrect. It was Maine.
Maine.
So
Whoa,
Oh,
that's
that's really
far
far.
away.
Way up there, yeah.
Interesting.
One more
Good for
question
them.
left for craft beer, but before we get to that, here's the second to last question for Grease. Number 9, what comedian played Coach Vince Calhoun in the movie? What comedian, old-timey comedian, played
Mm-hmm.
Coach Vince Calhoun in the movie Grease?
I have no idea.
No idea?
I don't know his name.
If you go to the Improv, at least in Chicago, they have a picture of this guy performing with his pants off, like a suit but no pants. He's like an old-time guy. Sid Caesar was the
I
answer.
didn't even know
Oh.
he was a comedian.
Sid Caesar. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I would have never known his name.
Sid Caesar salad. Number 10 for craft beer. Last question. Number 10, what U.S. city has a nickname of Beervana because of all the microbrews in the area?
I'm going to say Fart, Portland.
It is Portland, right off the bat, and that's your 8th point. So it's 8.
Not a single question
Dang.
about Milwaukee.
Yeah, I had no.
Oh, I guess that's not craft beer, though. That's just beer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
more
beer
just
in
beer.
general.
That's more just beer.
I will say that Beervana would make me think Nirvana, and Nirvana would make me think Seattle, right? Are they from Seattle?
Yeah. Grunge was like Seattle stuff, but I guess, they're just, the pun is there.
There you go. Last Grease question, number 10. The soundtrack for Grease was still the number 2 best-selling of 1978 when the movie came out. What 1977 movie was still number 1 for best-selling soundtrack? So even in 78 when Grease came out, this movie, it was so popular that the soundtrack was still number 1. What do you think it was?
Fart, Mamma Mia?
Is it another musical or it's a movie?
I don't know.
It's a movie soundtrack.
Is the Dancing Queens? Is ABBA?
ABBA. You're just naming things I think you've heard of before.
Yeah.
Very good. Any guesses, Madison?
I don't.
From 77? Nothing?
No.
Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, that makes sense.
Another John Travolta.
John Travolta.
So now it is 8-4, and Madison still has a few chances to win this thing. So let's see what you can do. What did you guys think of the first 20 questions?
Good.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah.
Good
mix.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed I missed the yeast one.
Yeah.
Oh, the end of You're the One.
You're the one that I want.
Only one steal,
Singing
but
Cheap Trick.
still a pretty close game. Yeah, Cheap Trick snuck into the podcast.
Combo question.
We're going to dive into the combo question. Now, this is both the topics of craft beer and Grease combined for one 2-point question. You're still buzzing in with fart. Let's see if you can figure this one out. This is the combo question. For 2 points, finish this quote from the film Grease. A character named Vince Fontaine is shown, and someone says, "I've seen better heads on a blank, blank, blank."
Fart on a mug of beer.
On a mug of beer, and that's 2 points for Madison.
That's a
giving her
good
six.
deep cut, Ryan.
That's a really good combo
There
question.
you go. I had to really search the
Yeah,
script.
they
for
said
Really
it
the
couldn't
pro
be
over
done.
here.
Ryan Buds.
Mug of beer. I've seen better heads on a mug of beer. So combining beer and Grease for 2 points. So well done, Madison. You know your scripts. We are going to do something that is totally unrelated to Grease and craft beer. This is called Categories with Buds.
Categories with buds.
And since you guys are such a power couple, I thought we would do the category of Hollywood couples.
Oh,
So they
I'm gonna fail
currently
so
have to be together, though.
Oh,
so
no.
it can't be like people that have like Brad and Jennifer Aniston. That wouldn't count. Okay.
Right.
So I'll kick it off. We'll go in a circle. We'll go to Jordan, then Madison, back to me.
I don't know if I know any.
Last person standing will get 3 points. So if Madison gets this, she beats you by 1, which is
Okay.
amazing. And if you win, you obviously win. If I'm the last person standing, I will award the points
Madison's
to one
totally
of you.
going to win because I
No,
can
'cause
think
now
of
I'm,
one
like,
in my
trying to
head, and that's
think.
it.
Okay, so we'll give you guys 3 seconds here. 1, 2, 3, and then I will start one off. Okay, so I'm going to say Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell, Jordan. What do you got?
Okay, I'm going to say Fergie and Josh Duhamel are not together anymore. No. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they're together. So Jordan's already out. It's down to me,
Dang
Madison.
it.
I'm going to say Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to say, what's her name? Rita something and Tom Hanks. Rita, they've been together forever. Tom Hanks and his wife, she's an actress, Rita. Mm-hmm. I don't know her last name, so I think I lose.
Rita Witherspoon?
Rita Hanksenstein.
Rita Hanks.
Madison, if you can name one more, you win.
Will Smith and Jada Smith.
There
Oh my
you go.
gosh.
And that is
See?
3 points, and that is 9 to 8.
Massacred us.
And that means that Madison has won. Well done,
has
Madison.
won.
Thank
Yay,
you.
good job, Madison.
Very good stuff. I thought that would go a lot longer, and we each could
yeah.
barely name one.
That's it.
It's
Impromptu
kind of like one
Star
of those
Wars
things
round.
that when you're like taken off guard, you're like, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
know I know something, but I don't know what it is.
There should be more.
Yeah.
Anything-
Sounds like a good category, but I know nothing about Hollywood actors and actresses.
That was a fun battle. Did you guys have a good time?
Oh, yeah,
yeah, that was
definitely.
so much
Thanks
fun.
for having me in your home, and I think we're going to watch some wrestling for a second,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Before I take
Get-
my
get some
6-hour
wrestling.
drive home.
Yeah. Does it really take you that long to get
No,
home?
it's, about,
okay.
it's about an hour, yeah.
Okay.
What is some stuff you guys want to plug? BS and Craft Beer?
BS and Craft Beer, at BS and Craft Beer on Instagram and Twitter. I post stuff daily on working out, craft beer. So I sprinkle some wrestling stuff in there, but I don't get as many likes on that, so I don't do it as much, only
Yeah.
the big breaking news. And then keep a lookout for the Wreck My podcast once we
Yeah.
actually drop that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm working on some animations for the video and stuff, and we're going to hopefully be on Podbean at first. So keep checking back there and get on my social medias, and I'll be posting about it there as well.
BS and Craft Beer. Very, very cool. And Madison, anything you want to plug? Any social media or websites or anything like that?
I just think, the website J&M Entertainment, 7 amazing wedding services, all with one vendor,
Yeah.
which is pretty incredible because
Yeah.
people want to spend like, they don't want to spend 15 weekends of their life meeting with different vendors. So you can all do it at one time. So it's really awesome.
They're very highly rated. So if you're in the Southern California area, definitely check them out.
Very, very cool. Guys, thanks so much and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, too.
Cheers. Came down to the wifey winning. That's right. Madison came through at the very end and beat Jordan with her knowledge of all kinds of things there, mostly Hollywood couples at the very end. We all kind of blanked on that, which is rare on this show, but we couldn't think of any Hollywood couples. All the ones that were in my head were people that had broken up. But yeah, that is a fun episode with Jordan and Madison. Thank you guys so much for doing the show. Thank you, the listener, for checking out this episode. And if you liked it, go over on iTunes, rate, review, and subscribe. If you want the mini episode about Winter Olympics coming this Thursday, and this is your first time listening, subscribe to the show, and that will show up in your feed, on your phone, however you listen to and consume podcasts. It'll be there. If you like the show, tell a friend about it. That's a big way of helping us get more ears and eyes in the show, and I greatly appreciate it. And finally, check out patreon.com/trivia with buds. Just one more plug for that. I would love for you to go see what's going on over there and see the community that's going to grow on Patreon. I know it's going to be huge, and I want you to be a part of it. Donate between $1 and $15 to make this show run smoothly and create more trivia content for you to enjoy in the pop culture universe. That's about all for this week on Trivia with Buds. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.